of it, the facts say Ipswich are unbeaten at home and well within reach of the top of the table. But by their own admission, they haven't been playing too well lately. 15% below their best, they reckon. After last week's defeat at Everton, Bobby Robson has called for a fighting performance here to correct the balance. Not easy because they're still without Alan Brazil and Kevin O'Callaghan is now unfit. Arsenal's problems go deeper. They're short of players despite repeated desperate attempts to sign new ones. But players like Liam Brady and Frank Stapleton aren't easy to replace. They're very short of goals, only 6 in 10 league games, but they do have a very good defensive record and recently have done well against Ipswich. So the referee here is Cliff Maskell from Cambridge. Both the other officials are from this part of the world. Peter North from Braintree, Vic Roper from Norfolk, and it's Arsenal in the darker shorts to kick off. 9 goals in 14 first-team games against a reshuffled Ipswich side who were 4th in the table, just 2 points behind Swansea at the top. A lot of players going to be in midfield here, and a good battle in that part of the field before we start getting any chances, I'm sure. And a foul there on Butcher, so a free kick to Ipswich, and he'll get up into a striking position. Which is right over the far side of the penalty areas. McCall and Muren work it this side. Walker's getting in there, but this is for Butcher to leap. And there's Gates. Appeals that it had gone over, but the referee says play on, it hadn't. The linesman was right in position to see whether it had crossed the line. He said it hadn't. Vic Roper, and the referee backs him. But it was a lovely head back by Butcher. Gates should have buried that, really. It scuffs off the chest of the goalkeeper, but impossible to tell from here. And it's Paul Davies who picks up with Sansom on his left. Mead. Hit the referee. Ricks picks it up quickly. Ricks on the run through. Good run. And a foul by Russell Osman on Ricks. Protest from Osman, but waved away by Cliff Maskell for a free kick for Arsenal from an inviting position, particularly with the players like Ricks and Brian Talbot and even Hollins, who's square of those two. And here's Hollins now, the drive one. Oh, it's a good effort. That's a thunderbolt from John Hollins, but straight into the arms of Paul Cooper. Well, if that had had a bit of a bend on it, that might have been trouble for Cooper, but certainly a hot potato there. Arnold Muren, so many players in midfield. Control's got to be absolutely precise, and passing too. McCall gets his way out of that one, although Nicholas fouls him and concedes a free kick. And Arsenal get everyone back except Raphael Mead. Butcher and Osman getting up there over the far side. Osman coming in on a near run, but there's space here for Mills as Arsenal push out. Back wide to Muren, nicely hit. Muren here. Up goes Mariner. Tyson battling for that. Mariner again. Away by Willie Young. Talbot can't get it. And Tyson hits it. Oh, it deflected off the post. Tyson denied there, but the job for Jennings made a lot harder by that deflection by a defender. The ball bouncing here to Tyson as Talbot and Mariner battled for it. A shot, the deflection. Jennings was really beaten. And McCall is caught by Nicholas. Oh, what a challenge on Butcher. Butcher is hurt, I'm not surprised. Nicholas carried through on that one. And here's Arsenal coming forward with Butcher still down. Ricks. And Mariner breaking past the prostrate figure of Butcher, who's now gingerly getting to his feet. Well, what do you think of this challenge as the ball breaks and Nicholas goes in? It's a 50-50 ball, which Butcher gets, and that is a high challenge. There's Arnold Muren looking for Butcher to go forward. Here he goes. Gates is getting away from him as Raphael Mead just challenges. Butcher still goes. Doesn't know who to give it to. Butcher gets it wide to Mills. It's a good ball in the end, and Mills does a great job. And Mariner whacks it in. That was a mistake there by Sansom. Mariner saluting the crowd. He accepts an easy chance, which really should never have come his way. And the breakthrough for Ipswich. Well, Butcher was in the middle of that, and Mills too, coming from nowhere. Now this is a cross which Sansom should have got away, but he doesn't. He gives it straight to Mariner, who says, I'll have that one. 1-0. And Paul Mariner, the player who's worked very effectively in the build-up, has accepted a gift opportunity there. And Mead is on his own for the moment, unless he can get a bit of support. As we go into injury time, Mead, good effort. Well, do you say he did well, or do you give marks to Mick Mills, who drove him wide enough to make the whole target difficult? But in fact, Mead was just oars ahead of Mills, but the angle wasn't good for him. As for Terry Butcher, the result of that tackle by Peter Nicholas in the first half is evident for everyone to see. Forward for Willie Young. Nicholas has gone forward into that hole. Willie Young having a go at Gates again, and Gates falls flat, and out comes the referee's notebook. Willie Young shakes his head in disbelief. Well, I don't know, it's always hard for a big fellow tackling a little one, but that was the second fairly heavy challenge he'd had, and the referee didn't like that one. Gates will get himself to the edge of the area for the free kick taken by Mills. Short one to Steggles. Tyson is on his right touchline. In for Gates. Looking to get him to try and turn, get into the area perhaps for this one. Here's Mills going forward. And Mills has got it! What an extraordinary goal. Unlucky for Pat Jennings, he couldn't possibly have expected that. Mills gets his name on the score sheet. Well, a good run, it deserves something, but it had a little bit of luck as it bounced off his stomach. Pat Jennings was totally wrong-footed, and it just has the strength to get over the line. Mick Mills with his first goal of the season. Ricks, that's a nicely hit ball, but Butcher is in quickly on Sunderland. And a free kick to Arsenal. Well, Arsenal coming forward, but once they get into the penalty area or just outside it, they haven't got much of a spark at the moment. But plenty of time for a different story to develop. With Willie Young at the back here, David O'Leary in front of him and Mead. And there's Willie Young leaping, but it was put away by Terry Butcher. Two balls in there at the moment. There's problems for the goalkeeper. There were two balls flying around, one hit from the corner and one thrown from the back, and luckily Cooper picked the right one. Walk for Mariner. Tyson, Osman supporting. McCall is on the left-hand side. Out there is Muren. Hard ball to control, and he didn't get it right. Davis and Mead. Mead looking strong in possession. Alan Sunderland having a go at Steggles. Sunderland jinking well here. Good effort. That's a fine goal by Sunderland. Well, he showed him one side. He went that way, took it back the other. The gap had opened up, and Sunderland drilled it in. That was an excellent goal. But Kevin Steggles brought a dummy or two here. Go that way, check back the other, and now the target's opened up, and he drove it well. So Alan Sunderland, with his third goal of the season, puts Arsenal back in the game. Butcher, with his last foray forward, brought a goal just before the break, but Arsenal not such easy meat in midfield at the moment as Russell Osman whacks it away. Walk gets onto that one. Paul Mariner. Mariner 4 against 1 really there, and there's a battle and a kicking match between Mariner and Talbot, and Gates now is going to get past. Oh, that was brilliant stuff. Gates with no room whatsoever, playing against possibly the best centre-half in Europe, and he wriggles and turns and gets a shot in. But before that, there's been a bit of kicking and pushing and shoving between Brian Talbot and Paul Mariner, but that's a lovely turn by Gates and a good shot. And it's Arsenal coming forward. Davis. And Russell Osman got in there, but Ipswich are conceding a lot in midfield and they're dropping back, and it's dangerous. Steggles doesn't get there. Ricks might get one here. And in by Raphael Mead. He's offside. Mead was clearly offside, but Ricks had the chance, surely, to have buried that one. I'm sure he intended the shot here as Steggles misses the cross. He's trying to chip it over the goalkeeper's head. Mead's onto it, but he's offside already.
Well, 2-1 the final score, and in fact one more goal for Ipswich would have taken them to the top of Division 1, but that honour richly deserved by Manchester United this weekend following their 2-1 win at Anfield.